in a pool of trouble, but yet I'ma keep walking myself to work or keep getting on the bus? How y'all sound? I got this shit for my protection, and y'all bashing me for getting a car for my protection? I'm pretty sure that's something my son would have wanted me to do. Y'all people is crazy. Please just leave me alone. If y'all not gonna support me, leave me alone. I still have to live my life. Yes, my son gone. He's in a better place. Won't y'all just leave me alone? If you're not gonna support, leave me alone.
Yo, welcome to Under the Influence Cocktails and Consciousness. This is a critical thinking platform where we talk about issues important to the black millennial and some issues not so important. As we know, sometimes those issues are tough, especially this one. So we handle it with a drink. I am your host, Caleb, and join me, as always, the lovely Ivory.
Hi.
Hey. All right, so we come at you today with another episode of more so facing around our trauma in the black community series that we started. Now, this trauma is going to be about buying your self-worth. All right, as we know, black people have, I believe they said if we were a country, as far as our spending power, we'd be like one of the top 10.
We have a large spending. We have large spending power.
Yeah.
With $2 billion a year or something. Even though we're like 11% of the country,
right?
We are like the largest in terms of spending.
Black Friday is probably called Black Friday because black people go buy everything.
No, that's not why.
Yeah, I mean, damn. I mean, you might as well. But that's coming up, right? But basically, you know, if you're black and you are aware, and you can look around, you know that black people tend to have their self-worth worn on their shoulders. You know what I mean? With the clothes they wear, the cars they drive, little different accessories, watches, earrings, different stuff like that. Black people tend to have all their wealth on their body, on them at some point in time.
Right.
Now, if we look around also with different cultures, they don't seem to do that. They like white people, for example, like Bill Gates. We see Bill Gates. You see a picture of him. He looks like he has the dad jeans on, like the Wrangler, the shit you get from Walmart. He has like the kickers, like the Payless shoes on, like some regular shit, and a button up, and he's just like whatever. But these dude has like billions of dollars. You know what I mean? His house is gorgeous. You know what I mean? He might have I don't even know if he drive. I was looking at something the other day. You know, what's his name? Who created Facebook?
Mark Zuckerberg.
He drives like a Honda or some shit.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And that kind of leads us to what we're going to today. All right. So we're going to center the buying your self-worth story around a young Tyshawn Lee. Now, if you don't know who Tyshawn Lee is the 9-year-old who was killed in Chicago this past week. Monday. The Auburn Gresham neighborhood of Chicago. He was actually lured into an alley and shot 7 times in different multiple places, and he died.
Was it 7?
I believe it was seven times.
Oh.
Well, more than 7. I mean, the little boy was shot. You know what I mean? He was killed.
He died, to death. He was shot to death.
You know, and what they're saying is that they didn't want to. He wasn't the intended target. It was his dad. But they couldn't find his dad.
No, he was the intended target because they lured him and shot him intentionally. So that he was the intended target, but maybe it was payback because they had issues with the dad. But they intended to kill that young boy. They weren't confused about that.
Oh, right. But definitely, and he was shot and he killed. And his mom, Carla Lee, she, didn't have the money to bury him. And so he was.
A GoFundMe account was created and people donated up to $7,500 to provide $17,500 to provide him with a funeral, which is going to take place at St. Sabina's, which is a really well-known church here in Chicago, led by Father Flager. So she was donated that money for her child's funeral.
And she took it and bought a 2015 Chrysler 200. All right. And so she didn't have a car before. She didn't have a car before all this happened, and she's saying that she bought this car because now she feels like her life is in danger, and she bought it for protection. So, many people are upset about that because many people are saying, okay, maybe they could understand the fact that she bought a car for protection. Maybe she didn't want to be seen around on foot or on public transportation because then it'd be easy to get her. So she wanted to be in her own vehicle. But a lot of people are saying that it had to be a 2015, the new shit. Did it have to be the new car?
I'm just angry
Yeah.
overall, like in general, because like, okay, if you feel like your safety is at risk, like okay, then get protect transportation, but like you said, that was uncalled for you to like purchase it in that format, and also like people grieve differently, but we're trying to fight for the lives of Black people to be valued more. And so in my eyes, I feel like to a certain extent it takes away from, it devalues like this young boy's life when like 4 or 5 days later you are purchasing something, a luxury, before your child has even been buried yet. That just really bothers me. It's not necessary. Like, you could have just went to go buy you a little simple car, kept it quiet and kept it moving if that's what you feel like you needed to do. But, personally for me, like, how do you even conceptualize going out and buying a car when your baby has not even like gotten into the ground yet? Like, how is that even, like, for me, I couldn't even conceptualize even thinking about any of that because I'm still mourning. Like, that's my thinking. Like, I'm not even fucking thinking about safety, cars, nothing. I'm probably like, it's gonna take me a lot to get out the bed. That's my thinking. So I'm just not even able to like process that. That really, really bothers me. Like, this baby's life is gone, and now you out here trying to ride in your new whip. Like, I'm not happy about it. I'm really not. And you know me, I'm super like sensitive about not placing blame on like people in our community, but this one I really cannot make sense of. I just can't. I can't.
All right. And I checked I want to do a little background, so I checked I did a little homework, and the MSRP, which is the value of a 2015 Chrysler sedan, is $21,995. Now, again, we said she was given $17,500 as far as the GoFundMe page. She said in the interview that she only spent about $4,500 on the car, 4,000. So it's about 13,000 left to bury her child. So that would say that she kind of put a down payment on the car. So it's like you already have a job, because you gotta have a job to put a down payment on the car.
The article I read, she did say that she, has a job and she paid for herself. That's what she said.
So my thing is this: why would you pick the time now to do it?
Right, that's my.
When you already could have had a car, right?
I mean, she said it was safety reasons.
Right, but yeah.
But then she took pictures of the car and posted on social media. So like, how now people know what your car looks like. So how are you keeping yourself safe?
Say it again. That's a great point. She bought it for protection. Okay, listen to what she just said. Right, she bought it for protection purposes, but rather than staying incognito, you post this shit on social media where everybody can see it, including your son's killers, probably the ones who you're trying to hide out from, and now they know exactly what kind of car you drive. And since everybody where you live in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood isn't driving a 2015 Chrysler sedan, then what do you get? So this is what's going to happen, guys. When you can't explain certain things, especially with the Black community, you have to start to be aware, right? And that's why you have to switch it back to the background, because nothing happens for no reason. And in every future, every present, there's a past. So now we will take this time to go into the past of trauma in the Black community and why this young lady, Carla Lee, would even want to do this, right? Okay. So let's take it all the way back. Let's take it back to slavery. We always gonna take it back to slavery because most of the trauma in the Black community is like originated in slavery, where you had nothing. They took everything from you, including your name, your language, everything. A lot of people's manhood. They took people's children. They shaved people's hair. They took your hair. They took everything from you. They took they used to put their feet on you, just like you were like a fucking, what do you call it,
An animal, dog.
a recliner. You know what I mean? Like you were a footrest.
Oh, okay.
Because they said that it helped with certain diseases. So basically, the disease would run from their body into yours, and that was a belief, and they did that on purpose. You know what I mean? They put you into the most poorest conditions. You know what I mean? A little cabin where 1 million people live there.
So basically,
with scraps.
like, they stripped you of your humanity.
Everything.
Like, did the most inhumane things, worse than their animals. And
they love the animals.
So think about what that does, even chemically, to the mental state of a human being when they're treated inhumane over time. What happens, and this was 300 plus years of this occurring to African people. So then what happens? What happens to a people when they deal with those type of things? What happens to them mentally?
Trauma.
And then it breaks down, and it's like an ongoing thing that goes from generation to generation when it's not dealt with, when it's not healed. And then when it's triggered through Jim Crow and inequality and lack of resources, and just unconsciously the messages that are sent about who we are as a people. Like, these are triggers, and so you find yourself as a people not feeling like you have a healthy level of self-worth or that you mean anything. And so you feel that you have to find that immediate gratification to feel some level of self-worth. And for a lot of us, we do that in purchasing items and clothes and to feel good, and I'm all for, I love fashion. I love expressing myself through like what I wear. Like, that's something I'm really, really into. But that's because I'm a creative, and I like to express myself creatively that way. But I think there's a difference when you don't, first of all, you can't afford it, and then you do it in a way where it's not uniquely your own. You're doing it to fit in, or to be accepted by others, or to be liked by others, and to feel good about who you are based on how other people perceive you, as opposed to feeling good about who you are because this is who you created yourself to be, and you want people to embrace that. And so it sounds like what you're saying is that, our community is like plagued with this idea of being accepted by the masses through what they have on, and they're willing to sacrifice everything for that. And this young lady seemed like she was, willing to, sacrifice the money for, her child to be buried for that. Now, we can't say that for sure because she's saying it's for safety reasons, but, based on the fact that it's, a newly modeled car, and it happened at a time, the timing of it was so bad that you have to question the intention behind it.
Definitely. And consumerism and materialism, and then you enter advertising and marketing. People advertise and market products. Companies advertise and market products for an experience. They don't market them as products. They don't market them as just add-ons, additives to your life. They market them as something that
gonna make you feel
a way. Yeah. So you take a group of people who feel the most worthless, and then it only makes sense that they will be the biggest consumers, because they need to feel like they're worth something. They don't have careers that they delve themselves into. They don't have family that they can, really dive themselves into. They don't have what other cultures have. They have what was given to them, what was constructed to them. And without knowledge of self, without knowledge of what's going on, and if you go on, like you say, generation after generation after generation, it becomes normalized, and it just is. I don't feel like anything, so I have to go find it. And it's going to have to be outside of me, when everybody should know that true worth and value is on the inside. But no, it's on the outside. So what I'm going to do is, like she said, I'm going to buy the 2015 sedan. I'm going to go buy these mics. I'm going to go buy this jewelry. We was in slavery in chains. Took the chains off. We put the chains back on. Right? I'm going to go buy this jewelry. You know what I mean? I'm always keep my hair done. And I'm going to do these things so that you don't know how I feel on the inside. You only gonna know you only gonna be able to tell how I feel on the outside.
So it's kind of it's I would argue to say like it's part of like this larger plan where like I hate to say it, whatever that entity is, like that force out there that has this plan of like, let's strip them of their self-worth, let's make them feel like they don't have much, and then let's sell them an idea of worth so that they can purchase it from us and put money in our pockets and continually leave them depleted. So it's like it's kind of like how you would treat an animal, where you take everything from them and you feed them a little bit and make them come back begging for more. But that little bit that they're feeding us is an illusion. A little bit is in like the clothes and the shoes, because like you said, they're selling an idea, they're selling an experience. So if you're buying these shoes, they're selling it as like, if you buy these shoes, then you're powerful, because they don't feel power. You don't feel powerful. So if I buy these shoes, I don't feel like I have a lot of power. But maybe these shoes will give me that sense of power for the moment. And again, like to a certain extent, there's a thin line between like if you're creating this for yourself as opposed to it being something that you are pawning. Because I do believe that like what you wear creates who you are, and I'm big on like, even when I'm not having the best day, I want to dress up and look nice because it's going to make me feel better. And so that's all good, but I think that there's a difference when you are brainwashed into doing it and you're doing it because you're attached to this message that's being sold to you, as opposed to creating your own idea of what's fly and what's sexy and what looks good. Like that's where the difference lies in. So yeah,
definitely don't get us wrong. Like we're saying that, if you have nice things, then it's because you feel worthless. Not at all.
No,
it's okay. You should strive to have nice things. I feel like one of the things that has made us suppress things is church, and I'm not attacking the church, but I'm just saying the fact that they say your paradise is after death. You know what I mean? No, people have a natural inclination to want things now. They want nice stuff now, especially if they look around and they see that it's available.
Right.
You know what I mean? You should want stuff now, but what we're saying is you should value yourself and get the things that you want. When you look at an item, when I do, and I'm probably sure you do, Ivory, too. When you see an item on a shelf, you should see yourself in that item. You should say like, yeah, that's my style, because that's what I like. That's what I have pruned, and that's why I want to look like, because that's what I see. It shouldn't be, you know what, they gonna hate on these when they see these motherfuckers.
Right.
They're gonna be like this when it's all about somebody else. Because you think about, listen to that. You think you want somebody else to accept you. But when you always looking for somebody else to accept you, that's because you haven't yet accepted yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like we say, go back to the item. The item should be, that item is dope. That's gonna be dope on me, because I know how to kill that. I know how to I know how to accessorize that. I know how to make that match. They don't know. Nobody else had these. That's why I like too. You know what I mean? And that's just me too. I don't know, but a lot of my friends and my associates, they like, I like having stuff that nobody even know about.
Right.
Or they know about it, but they wouldn't even touch it, because it's like, man, that's not hot.
Right.
But I make it hot.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can get shit off the clearance rack.
Right.
And people be like, damn, that just come out? Like, no, but you was too busy on the $500 joint. This bitch right here was $5.
Right.
You don't know nothing about this though.
Right.
And you still get the same compliments. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's not so robotic. It's not such a, a mechanical type thing where it's like, yeah, they're gonna like the mic because they new mics. Everybody was in line for the motherfuckers. Like, everybody want them. Mm-hmm. But why does everybody want them? Because they want them because everybody want them. And that's the mystique. And that's called I think it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He had an article, or he had a comment about Michael Jordan recently. He said he chose consumerism over consciousness. And that's the same. That's what it comes down to. You know, it should be like, yo, man, you know, we can go to deep about that, but like, you know, basically what we're saying is this: the buying your self worth is a everlasting, endless trail
To nowhere.
to nowhere that will never stop because the mics they're gonna get a scuff on them. 2015, in about 5 years, they're gonna change the body, they're gonna change the model, and it's gonna be old. And then what? Because if you're not able to, basically what you're saying with your self worth, if you're not able to have something else happen to you where you can buy this or have the money to buy it at that time, then you're worthless. You should feel self worth whether you can have it or not, and that should be the way it is, man. Black people should not be the most poverty stricken group, but have all the nicest shit. That should not be the case. Because what that proves is we have the money. A lot of times we try to, you know, build centers or do things to address things like this, and people never can have the money. People always, you know, they can never have the money to do these things. But it's like, you know, where's the money at? Because we do have it. But maybe you kind of like need to check yourself on some of your buying habits, and so we can use that and have a, you know, a good buying power towards something that we need, like politicians. Because hell, we put, you know, every seed bears something. A pair of mics one time for $500, $400, that's down the drain. But if you put that towards a business, or you put that towards something that's going to benefit you, that will multiply down the line, and you can have let's say $500 turns to $15,000. You can buy all the mics if you just have to have them. But think about like, you know, the longevity of spending.
Right.
You know what I mean? When you do spend money. But like we say, man, it's a traumatic thing that is upon our people. But if we don't wake up now, man, they only gonna keep creating products. They're only gonna keep finding great ways to market the products, and it's only gonna get worse. And pretty soon, shit, we won't be here to see the shit. I believe that way.
You know, I was just thinking about nobody ever sees Michael Jordan wearing his jersey. Do you? Have you?
Yeah, you know,
He wears his stuff.
he does. Michael Jordan does wear his
I
stuff.
never see. I mean, I guess I don't do
Because I mean,
but
they send it to him. You know what I mean, and he's an athlete, so it fits him to wear it. You know what I mean? He's Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? Now he's
well,
older.
he
I haven't
used to
seen
wear,
him.
that's what I mean.
Right,
like he
right.
used to wear when he was playing and stuff. Of course, you gotta wear it then. But
Yeah.
I'm saying like now, because I'm thinking like he's a billionaire, right? Like he's out there living his life,
Something
and
like suits and slacks, I'm sure. Suits and slacks,
right.
dad jeans, because he always wear.
Right.
Mike loved dad jeans.
So what I'm saying is like his value set is not even placed upon I gotta have it, you know, I gotta have it. Because you know I'm just trying to give this, like I'm just trying to create this concept of like people who really do have money, what they put the value of their money into, like
making more money.
and so
People have money, put their value in making more
even the
money.
man who created the shoe or his name is on the shoe, I don't even know if his value set is like I gotta have these. I don't know. I just don't know. Even if it's not a Jordan, it's maybe something else. He's not even thinking about it in that form. Like does that make sense to you? Or like I'm just, you know, I just feel like people who really have a growth mindset in terms of trying to build for themselves, they don't feel like I gotta have this latest pair of like shoes. They trying to build. So even the man who's selling it to y'all, he ain't thinking about the latest, like hottest thing. Even though obviously he can afford it now, but like he's trying to make his empire grow. So
yeah, Mike buys teams. Mike buys stock in prisons to lock your ass up. Mike,
that's horrible.
you know, Mike does stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's a whole other topic too, man. But at the end of the day, man, we're gonna wrap it up. But you cannot buy your self worth. It's not possible, and you cannot in one flick of the credit card or flick of the stack of dollars. You cannot get back what slavery took from you. All right, it's about reading and knowing yourself, and you'll gain a lot more than you would with that purchase at the store. All right, so that's us signing off, man. That's these under the influence cocktails and consciousness. This is Caleb and Ivory. Don't forget to go to definingmyselftees.com and grab your fall sweaters of the Defining Myself, and you know, become a part of the movement, man.
Yeah.
But until then, until this next time that we post something, like this video, share it. Don't forget to subscribe to Define It Myself.
And our Instagram page, Cocktails and Consciousness. Follow us there also.
Follow us there, all right? But we signing off. Later.
Bye.